Wait a minute. You are not Sia. How did I get so lucky today to have you, madame?
Oh my goodness, I am not Tia. I wish I was. Oh my gosh, she's so amazing, right? But I am here and I love it. I love it. It's a great topic and always an honor to be next to you.
Well, thank you. Yeah, threw me for a loop, but I love it myself. And knowing all the work you're doing for Hail Hail and, all the philanthropy that you do in your city of Houston makes all the sense to have you as our special co host today, Raquel. So thank you for joining me. And if you don't mind, let's get that intro going.
Absolutely.
Woohoo! It is my favorite intro. I say it every show. It just makes me exactly right. It makes you want to bang your head a little
Yes.
bit. And you don't even really like rock and roll all that much, dude. That's not your favorite.
Well, I've gotten very introduced into that whole world by you and Sia for sure.
Yeah. So who has been your favorite so far that we've introduced you to?
Well, definitely Pearl Jam and Smashing Pumpkins, I'll say.
See, you're learning the good bands. I would say you're gonna have to introduce us to some salsa or what do they call it? Reggaeton? Is that?
Yeah, no salsa. We'll do salsa. No reggaeton.
All right. Well, how was your weekend, my dear?
It was wonderful, had time with the girls, and I love it. I love being able to spend and create memories with them, especially over the summer. But it was Father's Day and weekend, and just trying to enjoy as much as I can. How about yours? Happy belated Father's Day.
Well, thank you. Yes, is happy belated Father's Day as well to all of those watching or listening or what have you. I was fortunate to be able to spend the entire weekend with my kids, and Father's Day was just so fun. We went out and saw my little nephew play some baseball, and he was so excited. He won a big ring. They won their tournament, and afterwards we went to the pool and got swimming, and had just a whole bunch of fun with just the kids and I was in what I call yes dad mode, meaning like everything is yes. You
Hmm.
want ice cream for breakfast? Yes. You want candy for lunch? Yes. You want to swim for 6 straight hours? Yes. Those are the best days. So I was loving Father's Day this year. So thank you very much for asking. But it's not about me or you today. It's about our next guest and the amazing work of their organization, Reclaim 13, and with both of us being parents, Raquel, knowing that there's an organization like Reclaim 13 out there to really help victims of sexual exploitation is really sad, frankly, that an organization as such is needed, but so inspiring that folks are out there to do the good work needed to help survivors. So, we are going to be welcoming Miss Jacqueline Saunders, and Jacqueline is the events and PR director for Reclaim 13, and she herself has over 20 years of events and public relation expertise working with many corporations and non-for-profits. And she works through Reclaim 13 to provide an education and prevention of child sexual abuse and exploitation to partners to bring healing and empowerment to survivors all throughout Illinois. So I know this is a topic near and dear to both of us. So if you don't mind, please welcome Miss Jacqueline Saunders.
Mm, let's
Yeah,
welcome.
there she is. And we even
All
got
right,
the video
guys,
working. How about
got
that?
everything working. Whoa, that was a lot. That was a lot. So glad to be here. Thank you so much for welcoming us. It's amazing to be here. I don't know if you guys can see back there. There's our Reclaim 13 logo. We had to reestablish something today. We are actually meeting with FBI agents from all over the state of Illinois. And so I was getting off of a Zoom, out of a meeting, and had to run down here and create like a little semi studio so we could be on board and chat with you all. We're excited.
Yeah, no, it's such an honor to have you. Thank you for making all the efforts that you had. And I know today was such a big day for your organization. So, carving out a little bit of time to talk about all the work that it is you do and how we're partnering to raise money for you folks coming up. But if you don't mind, Jacqueline, please tell us about yourself first and foremost, who you are, all the great work you're doing with Reclaim 13, and the work you've done in the past, please.
Awesome. Well, I'm Jacqueline Saunders. This is actually my second year with Reclaim 13. I've spent about 20 years in events and public relations, working with association management companies as well as non for profits, and also in a lot of different forms. I also run a secular, what we call a creativity center. So I run a professional dance company as well. So I do a lot of different things in the area of the arts. But this is a passion of mine because we're working with young people who have been through trauma. And so I've spent a lot of time helping us to raise funds and to have events that will help people bring awareness to what sexual trafficking, sexual abuse is really doing to children. And the fact that it is not a international trade issue. It is happening in mainstream America, in suburban America, in Naperville, in Dalton, all over the state of Illinois and all over the United States. So my passion has been to help people, especially not-for-profits, bring awareness to the plight of young people and how much they need help in this hour.
Man, I know Raquel. I saw your eyebrows raise as soon as she mentioned dance, and that's a passion of yours. But Jacqueline, you have so beautifully explained who you are as a person and all the passion that you have for giving back. But if you don't mind, tell folks a little bit more in depth about Reclaim 13 and what it is that organization does to better our world.
Okay, Reclaim 13. This is an amazing organization. It's been around 12 years. Our CEO and founder is Dr. Cassandra Ma. She's an amazing woman who just won Chicago's Woman of the Year last year from the Rotary Club. We are an organization focused on ending the cycle of sexual exploitation. So, our goal is to rescue and to reclaim young people who have been put into the cycle. And there is a cycle that starts. And you'd be amazed because many of our young people have been trafficked from the age of 4 all the way up until they are reclaimed into our homes. So we have young women who have come into our homes. They perhaps were sexually abused in the home or by a family member, taken out of the home, perhaps put into foster care or into the DCFS system, and were trafficked. And so they were trafficked and exploited. And then by the time we are able to reclaim them through our FBI stings or through someone who makes a call, a concerned citizen, someone who is seeing a child who is consistently truant, Reclaim 13 comes in and we provide healing pathways, homes, residential housing. We provide therapy. We provide support groups for the families. We provide so many different things that help to end the cycle. And that cycle continues because most young people, when they are placed in a situation of trauma, the cycle keeps going. If you have a runaway who's run away from home, and now they find someone who says, hey, I can offer you lodging, I can offer you food, but now during the course of that care, they say you have to do this or you have to do that to maintain this care. Now they're in a cycle of exploitation, abuse, being used, and that's just for the fundamentals. Then there's the possibility of them coming into contact with someone that and they get impregnated. Now they have a child in that system. So there's this continual cycle of trauma, and we are here to help break that cycle through the resources that we have at Reclaim 13, and we do quite a bit. So we're going to talk a lot about it today. I
Oh
think
my
we're
gosh, my heart just got so heavy and but also so inspired. And Raquel, I want to give you a second. I know you're probably chomping at the bit. Being the mother of two beautiful daughters, and I, of course, have one myself. But Jacqueline, what you may not know is one of Raquel's little ones is in the chat here saying hello and wishing me a happy Father's Day. And her
oh
kids, her daughters are so beautiful. But Raquel, what is it that you'd want to say real quick?
Oh my goodness. Well, first of all, thank you so much for the work that you're doing, Miss Jacqueline. I know it's not an easy one, and we thank you because as Chris mentioned, I have two daughters, a 10-year-old and a 5-year-old, and for God's sake, it's a mother's, any parent's worst nightmare to lose a child that way or to have them going through anything that is through that. So I am happy that my daughter is listening into this conversation because it's important. It's important for them to realize of the dangers that are out there, of the dangers that of being led by unknown people, sometimes known people, and just to be wise and become aware of your surroundings. So thank you so much for continuing the message and continuing with your pushing forward. This I mean, like I said, it's crucial. It's essential.
it's absolutely crucial because many young people don't realize the persons that they're meeting on social media are the persons that are typically trafficking. We have had young ladies who have been trafficked and they are getting up, going to school. They've met a trafficker on social media, and we have several sites. Snapchat is the number one site where most of our traffickers find persons. And a lot of these young people are not meeting adult men, which what most people would think. They are meeting peers who are trafficking. We are right now counseling a young lady who is a part of our mentoring program who met her trafficker on social media. She met him at Yorktown Mall and in December was assaulted at Yorktown Mall in the restroom. She went to the mall with her mom, asked her mom to go meet her friend at the restroom, and he there presented someone who assaulted her in the bathroom. She is 11 years old. She met a 14-year-old trafficker. Exactly. So what we are here to do is to bring awareness and to make people aware. You need to know who your children are talking to. And we also want to make sure you know every trafficker is not male. Most of the traffickers are mothers, foster care and birth mothers, persons who have addictions, persons who are doing whatever it takes to make money because it is the number two crime in America now. Trafficking is next to drugs because you can sell children more than one time a day. And this is a problem that we are wanting to bring awareness to and to make sure people's eyes come open because we have children that are in school. They're out every Tuesday and Thursday. Where are these kids? They're not just truant. Perhaps there's a parent, a foster parent, a child, a peer that is trafficking them, and that's the day that they are actually out because they're being used to bring someone else income.
Man, oh man, I just yeah, my face is not because it's surprising. My face is because that this type of crime exists and that there are these predators in the world doing harm to such innocent children. And the work that you folks do with Reclaim 13, not only to help with prevention and to create awareness so this may not happen to children that are Raquel's and my daughters and sons age, but to then help with the trauma that for those that suffer and enduring and having been gone through something as unimaginable as being trafficked or assaulted sexually. And that, as Jacqueline, I have endured some trauma, very different in a sense, but we've talked offline a little bit about that. And it just inspires me to know that folks like yourself and Dr. Ma and all the volunteers that you folks have are willing to really uplift those and give them hope for the future. So talk a little bit about the programs you provide aside from some of the housing, but some of the fun stuff that really creates a community of safety and a community of support that I know you folks are working so hard to create for survivors as well.
Exactly. We have what's called Forever Community. So the persons that are a part of Reclaim 13, some are residential. So we have two homes. We have the only home in Illinois for residents that are ages 10 to 17. So it's a little rare that you find a safe house for children who have been sexually trafficked, but that's our home. We're the only one. There's another organization that's working to open one, and we're excited about that because there are several children trying to get in. So the residential placement is the first program. We have the 10 to 17 Cherish House, which is our first safe house. And then we have Courage House, which is amazing transitional home because after you turn 17, the likelihood of you being able to go out into the world and function and not go back into the cycle of trafficking, which is how a lot of young people realize, hey, I can make easy money doing this. And so we put together Courage House, which it means it takes courage to stay in a home from ages 18 to 25 and learn budgeting, to get a job, finish getting your GED, go to college, get those things, those tools that you need so that you can function and break the cycle of exploitation. So we have those two programs, and then we have Reclaiming Hope. Oh my gosh, it's an amazing program led by Dr. Joy Lowe, who is our healthcare person. She also provides training to all of the hospitals in Illinois, clinics, nursing centers, so that we can help people be aware when you see a trafficking case coming into a urgent care center or into the hospital. But Dr. Lowe works with mothers, young mothers. It's a support group that helps to help these persons who have perhaps become impregnated in the midst of exploitation. We have programs to help them get food, housing, to help take care of those children and to break the cycle. So there's Reclaiming Hope. And our number one program, the biggest thing that we have, is called our mentoring program. Our director of mentoring is Valerie Lott. And that is where we pair persons who have been exploited or abused with someone who will mentor them. Mentoring can look in so many different ways. It can look like dinner once a month. It can look like going to different places and exposing them to different career opportunities, exposing them to the arts, exposing them to so many different things. But our mentoring program is key. We even have survivors from R. Kelly that are a part of our mentoring program. So it's amazing to see what someone who wants to spend some time with someone who has been through trauma, what that can do for their life, how it can change the trajectory of their life. Even if you're not a survivor yourself, we invite people to be a part of the mentoring program because if you want to give, you have something you can give to someone. And the mentoring program, of course, they go through background checks and all those things because we're working with young people, but it is an amazing program. So there's Reclaiming Hope, there's the therapy clinic, which we have. I'm actually sitting down in one of the therapy centers now, one of our therapy offices, which is open to the public. It's not just for survivors of sexual exploitation, but it's for anyone who's looking for any type of therapy, family therapy, personal therapy. We have a therapy clinic. And let's see, how many other programs? There's a million programs. A million.
That's what I was going to say. We can go on and on and on. And we wanted to talk about, of course, none of the work you folks do comes for free, right? And we'll get into the funding here in a little bit. But you mentioned something that I think is very important for a listener to potentially take away. And, when it comes to trafficking or exploitation or something along those lines, are there some signs that a listener can really keen in on when you see maybe some young folks in the community with their predator or something like that? I don't know if there's hand signals. You hear a lot of various types of awareness, but is there something maybe a listener or viewer today could take away to say, hey, now that I'm in the community, I could be more aware?
Yeah, one of the stories we always tell, we love to talk about persons being in department stores, Walmart, or different places, especially during the day. We were out with some of our young ladies from our safe homes, and I think this was within the first couple of months I was working, and one of the girls said, those girls are being trafficked. And what we saw were young ladies who were out at 10 a.m. Now, our girls do not attend school. They go to school within the safe house because of the nature of what they've been through. They're not able to actually function in a regular school system when they first come into our homes. So we keep them protected by having them do school at home. So we're out in Walmart one day and we see a group of multicultural girls. They're all different, diverse cultures with a gentleman. They had their hoods up and they're in Walmart at 10 o'clock on a Wednesday afternoon when school is in session. That was a good sign for us. And the gentleman was pointing and he was having one of the girls go and ask people for money. But actually, that was just the beginning. So we were looking for signs. So if you're looking for signs, it doesn't necessarily have to be in the store. And we don't want to make people paranoid, but we want you to look for people, children who are truant, children who are out of school during the time that they should be in school, children who have their heads covered or their heads down. They're not making eye contact. Young people who have brands with names on them. They're not always boyfriend names. Sometimes they are the names of their trafficker. Young people who may not necessarily have a lot of money, who are all of a sudden showing up with Louis Vuitton purses or expensive hairstyles or nails being done. These are signs that someone is giving them something, and how are they getting it? Those are things that we should ask, the questions that we should ask. We tell people all the time when we do panels, it's better to tell the police that you saw something funny and to err on the side of error than to leave someone and to question. Because one of our girls, and I'll say this and get back to you, one of our girls was trafficked by her best friend's mom. Her mother was an alcoholic, and I have to be very severely graphic, not graphic, but direct. Her mother, her best friend, had this great mom who she loved. She spent a lot of time with her because her mother was an addict. And the best friend's mom got custody of her, and she started taking the young lady to the health club with her. She was basically taking the young lady to the health club to allow her potential traffickers to see this young lady. The girl was 12 years old and she had been in her best friend's mom's home for about 6 or 7 months. And the young woman allowed this baby to be raped in the laundry room of her home. This is how she began this cycle. By the time we got her, she did not even know her name, but she was going to school. And she was coming to school with a lot of expensive things, with tattoos. And she said to us when we got her, she was just waiting for a teacher or a counselor to ask the right questions, to just say what is going on. So for us, it's really the sign is that if you see young people and you see them out during the hours of school time, or you see them on a metro without a phone, because sometimes the metro is how they are commuted to the person that they're being trafficked through. If you see a young person without a phone, which is absolutely out of the norm, then it's time to contact the officials. It's time to tell someone something is going on with this young person. I see this person in Walmart and I see this young Puerto Rican young lady with an African American male who doesn't look like they're related. Maybe there's something going on. She doesn't look happy. She doesn't look pleasant. These are signs that we need to let people know something is happening. And don't always look for the men. Sometimes these are things happening with women. Women, we have found, are really almost 60% of the traffickers. It's
Oh
easier to
man,
a woman can traffic a child. So those are some signs, Chris. That
golly,
I,
thank.
I always give these speeches and people go, it's a downer. We're going to talk about the fun
No,
stuff.
we're going to talk about something fun, but
Yeah.
listen, it's important to educate, right? And this is
Yeah.
why I was so excited to have you on today, Jacqueline, because I know how passionate you are. I know how educated you are about the subject. I know all the work you're putting in to really help break the cycle for those victims, but also to stop it before it starts. And so, as I said earlier, it doesn't come for free, right? And so all the work you do comes and has to be paid for. And so you guys, being a charity of sort, right? Like, talk a little bit about your budget, talk about some of the funding needs, talk about some of the things that it costs to make such an organization run on a daily basis to support those most in need.
So we are a non-for-profit organization, and most of our funding comes from donations. We do receive some funding from DCFS, not a lot of it, and there is some state funding, very minimal. We don't have a lot of federal funding. Most of our funds come from donations, in-kind donations. Our gala that we have every year, October 5th, and this amazing, awesome opportunity, which is going to be July 22nd, is another fundraising event. Woo-hoo! Our golf outing, which is a very unique event because it is an organization that's coming together with several different organizations just to raise funds on our behalf, which we are just so honored and so grateful that Everactive and this SIL organization is doing this for Reclaim 13. July 22nd, the golf outing. We have people, we also have corporate sponsors. Oh my gosh, we are so honored to have corporate sponsors and need more. We need more. We need more in-kind donations from corporations that just say we want to give to help children. And so we have several corporate sponsors. We even have what we call our church coalition. They are teams of churches that come together. One of the great thing about our church coalition is that they provide a safe space for girls when they're being trafficked and they want to get away. We tell them, hey, hit one of the logos. We'll call one of those churches and we'll have our CRTs come and pick you up from the church parking lot. That's sometimes the safest place for them to go because they don't want to always go to a police station. So we have church partners and we have the gala, and now we have this amazing golf outing. And that's how we make our money and how we
Well,
take
you
care.
guys have a lot of fun. Exactly. Like, you could tell you are a person with high energy and high passion and a beautiful smile. And I got a chance to work with you last year. But first off, if you're watching or you're listening and you've been inspired, how could you not have been by everything Jacqueline has to say? Scan that QR code, please. It'll take you directly to their website. Please kick a few bucks their way to help them meet their mission. But in fact, yes, we do have the golf outing coming up July 22nd. It's a great, great example of many, many organizations coming together to support your mission. As you said, Everactive, and Michael Pesahovich, who's a great friend of mine, and his networking group, the Strategic Introduction League out of Chicago, and my organization, Hail Hail Auctions, is going to be doing all the auctioneering in support of items and so on and so forth. And it's just a great day of golf, right? July 22nd, Monday at the Grove in Long Grove, Illinois. Foursomes are still able to be bought and sponsorships are still taken. So, talk a little bit more about that event, Jacqueline. What does it mean to you folks at Reclaim 13?
It's an amazing opportunity for corporations, individuals to do something that they love and give back. So golfing is something that a lot of people, we want people to get your foursome together, get your friends together and get out to Long Grove. It's an amazing golf club. It's beautiful. The food is great. And it means so much to us because we also have a time with the auctions that Chris handles, which is great because that's also extra funds that go toward Reclaim 13. And Dr. Ma will be there, our founder, who often doesn't have a lot of time, but she comes and she gets the chance to meet and network and talk a little bit more about what Reclaim 13 is doing here in Illinois. And so I think it's an awesome opportunity to combine fun with funds, right? Fun with funds. We get the opportunity to golf as well as give back. And it is just a beautiful event, peaceful, well organized. Mike does an awesome job, but we need people to sign up. We want to get some more golfers. We want to get some competitiveness going out there, and we want people to bid on those auction items as well. So our golf outing is fun, and also October 5th is our gala. That is the event that we raise probably almost $500,000 every year at our gala, and so we want you guys to be there October 5th at the Westin Lombard. July 22nd and October 5th. We need you guys.
That's right. And I just can't wait for this golf outing. It's going to be a heck of a lot of fun. We're still looking for whole sponsors, foursomes, etc. So please click that QR code. It'll take you directly to the website. You can do all of your donations, your introduction to the organization. But Raquel, before we get signed off, I know you're chatting backstage saying I'm emotional, and I knew you would be given the heart that you have. If I wanted to give you a few opportunities to ask Jacqueline any more questions before we sign off today.
No, definitely. Thank you so much for the opportunity, Chris. For me, is what message hearing all the things that happen in the background, hearing all the different aspects that can be used to lure children. What advice would you give to children? Like I said, my daughter is listening, and to be able to cement this message to her in this palpable way, in this just very, I would say, strong way, is for her to understand that there are dangers out there and that not everyone is your friend. So, what would you say to a 10-year-old, Ms. Jackie?
It's important that you know who you are and that no one can provide your value but you. Your parents can give you great insight, but you've got to know who you are. And don't let people that you meet on social media convince you that they can create some great environment for you. You have to know who you are, walk in that great power and light of being strong in your identity. Listen to your parents when they tell you to get off the social media. Listen to those people that really do love and care for you, and do what they say do. When they say no for a reason. So I would tell parents and I would tell children, know who you are and don't let anyone challenge you. And don't talk to everyone on social media just because they're telling you something great about yourself.
Amazing.
Love it.
Thank you.
Yes. My heart is so full. My daughter's 9, going on 19, going on 29, and exactly yours are as well. So, like, whether it's her and my son, he is more social than likely my daughter. And so he'll talk to just about anybody. And it's not unlike him to be at a vacation spot in the hot tub talking to random adults. And of course, I have to walk over and find out what's being said. And so there's many ways for all of us to really help our children. And Jacqueline, for creating this awareness. I can't thank you enough. But most importantly, as is the case with any sort of trauma, right? You folks are having fun, creating awareness, having fun, helping those survivors. And I can't thank you enough. So before we sign off, I want to just give you one more opportunity. Let listeners and viewers know where they can connect with you, because you're amazing yourself, how they could find out about all the work that you do through your other organizations, the work of Reclaim 13. Please, 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 now's the chance to sell yourself, if you will.
Well, we want to first just say thank you, Chris, and just your organization for having us on today. It is an important subject right now that people know there is someone looking to reclaim lives. Children don't always have the protection that they need, and we need your help. So if you're able to go to www.reclaim13.org, any donation, all donations are welcome. And we not only need financial donations, we need volunteers, people who will work at these great events that we host. We need mentors. We need people who will man the CRT lines, that will sit 24 hours and take those calls when the police say, hey, we've got someone. We need children and youth to be aware. So if you have a school system that you'd like us to come and speak to, we like to come out and bring awareness to the school districts. We want people to know it's not just young women. So Chris, it was so key what you said about your son. 33% of young men are being sex trafficked. they're being labor trafficked at 70%. So young people, men and women, need to be aware of who they're talking to, what they're engaging in, and know that the best thing to do is, if someone's been giving guardianship of you, to listen to them, pay attention to them, and watch your surroundings, and know that there is someone out there looking out for you. Reclaim 13 wants to reclaim lives. And back several years ago, 13 was the average age. It is now 10.
Mm.
So, yeah, 13 was why, that's why we started Reclaim 13, because 13 was the average age of a sexually exploited child. Now it's 10. So we want to stop this. We want to bring this to an end by bringing awareness. And we appreciate you all letting us know. And sign up for the golf outing.
That's
Get
it.
out.
Come golf. You get to hang out with us, right?
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want to hang out with Jacqueline and I for a whole day? And I'm a terrible golfer myself, so I won't be playing, but I will be the one selling some items and making sure that we raise as much money as humanly possible that day. So, Jacqueline, you're just so fun. A huge ball of energy, a heart of gold. I can't wait to see you in less than a month, or actually a little over a month now. But
Yeah.
Raquel, real quick, why don't you say a word or two before we sign off, and we'll get about our day.
Absolutely. Well, again, you have my full support. Reclaim 13 has my full support. I believe in the mission, and mission is so important to be continuing this work. And so just know I'm going to try to make it out there July 22nd and October 5th for sure. It gives me an
From
excuse
Houston.
to, yes, from Houston. So I'm in Houston, and Houston is Houston.
Cool. She's in Houston. Well, she's home now, but she goes to Texas Southern in Houston. She wants to move.
TSU. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm going to get into it. She's an Aggie. Don't get her started, Jacqueline. Like,
Oh,
we'll start having,
But it's
yeah, see.
okay. TSU is good. It's okay. But you know how critical that this type of work is here in Houston as well,
yeah.
because we are one of the biggest, unfortunately, hotspots for that. So you and I would definitely need to talk. You have my full support. Reclaim 13 has my full support. And I'm just so eager to learn more and get an opportunity to chat with you, Jacqueline.
All right. And I'm just so eager to continue our work together, our partnership, our friendship. And before we sign off, we do have a great sponsor of our show here. So backstage, please, if you don't mind, and Jacqueline, you got to hear about this great product, but please let's hear a little bit about Tausi.
All right.
Falling asleep with your head in the wrong position is a pain in the neck. You deserve Tausi Comfort for head, neck, and back support. Go to tausibrands.com and get your comfort on.
Woohoo! Look at that. Get your comfort on. So you got your own too, Raquel. We're so lucky to have Tausi be a great sponsor of ours, and it's just been such a great time today to get to hang out with you, Jacqueline. I'm so excited to be able to do so at the Grove, July 22nd. Once again, please sign up if you haven't. We're still looking for sponsors, foursomes, etc. And you have my full support as well. I hope you know that, Jacqueline.
No, thank you so much for having us, Chris. Thank you. So great to meet you, Raquel. And I'm looking forward to the connection and what, it's going to be. I think we're going to do amazing numbers and help children. So I'm very excited.
I am too. And so with that being said, have a great rest of your week, everybody. It's been an honor. Let's kick that outro and get on about our day.
Right.